The Minister of Finance will table the country's budget on Wednesday next week, but with the extension of the special relief of distress grant, the ailing state-owned entities and promises by the President to speed up government efforts to tackle unemployment, what trade-offs will the budget reveal, and will these promises materialise? Business reporter Kopano Gumbi tells us this story.
With Minister of Finance Enoch Godongwane's budget speech just days away, the country's attention is turning to how much money will be allocated to the different projects President Ramaphosa spoke about at his State of the Nation address. But some economists remain wary about the progress of promises made so far.
The announcement of what is to be done has fallen short significantly when we look at the actual implementation. So we have moved beyond listening to what the President says, which is the good stuff, the anecdotes and the good language, to actually tracking the action items and when they are earmarked to be completed. And the track record so far is mixed, almost disappointing.
The country adopted a path of fiscal consolidation after years of rising debt and failing state institutions nearly toppled the economy. And although reforms have been tabled since 2018, few of them have taken root, and the country's paltry growth rate is not enough to turn the tide on unemployment.
The various economic growth rates that we have, and try to get a sense of what sort of economic growth do we require to actually reduce the unemployment rate? It's quite staggering, and it's something that brings realism to say much of the economic reforms that we are doing now will not be enough if they are not implemented in their entirety. 1% economic growth generates 0.44% in jobs. Which then translates to a 2% annual economic growth, generate on average 230,000 jobs per year. If you double the growth, you double the number of jobs that are created.
While it's expected that tax collections will improve going into the new financial year, the estimated 40 billion rand extra the government will pay out in relief grants will be a blow to the consolidation efforts. In addition, experts are still divided on whether this is the best solution to the country's social problems.
And implementing an investor basic income grant is going to be a permanent burden on the fiscus that is not going to get, that is not going to be able to generate the tax revenues that are required to actually fund it. So we end up with a Scandinavian-type welfare state in a country that cannot generate high economic growth.
The question of whether bailouts will be budgeted for again this year remains, as Eskom, Denel, the Land Bank and other state-owned companies struggle with responsible financial management. Experts and observers alike are of the view that the country needs persistent growth of over 5% to change people's lives for the better. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I am Kopano Gumbi in Johannesburg.